take one of our cameras to school. I don't know. I always look at it. Every time I come out there, it looks empty and deserted.
Joe left some bone for the dog. This is what I'm eating today. Joe did his broiled chicken leg and thigh. I have some stir fry, some white rice, and some red kidney beans. And I make sure I eat slowly and I chew everything because I want to digest. And I eat my papaya enzyme. Joe started the same time I did. Look. I'm watching the sit down and listen that they're having on the TV right now with the students from the Florida school. And of course, it's this fool's turn to talk. You know, he ticks me off every time he opens his mouth. And he's talking about having a teacher there trained with a gun, yada, yada. That doesn't solve anything. If you have one person in school with a gun, the shooter comes up the stairway while the kids are running down on the fire drill. And he's like, kai, 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 kai. What can that teacher do? Is he going to be armed with an AR-15 too and then misfire and kill somebody else's child? This stuff, I mean, it's so simple to me. Ban the AR-15s. I don't want to hear anything about, oh, mental illness. Let me tell you, police have a lot of crazy people too. You don't see them mass shoot anybody, right? Because they don't have access to these type of guns. Why is it that it's not just the armed forces that are using these type of guns? Why is it that a common person can buy these guns? You don't need it to kill an animal. Because if you're going to kill the animal to eat it, the gun's going to just like obliterate the animal, the bullet. If you're going to kill the animal to stuff it, it's the same thing. You're not going to have much left to stuff. So it's not for animals. They're using it to kill people. I don't want to hear nothing about this kid being mentally ill because all the time they'll tell you that stuff, and if you see something, say something, and they don't do anything. I went through a lot when my kids were in school because I'm the kind of mom that fight for my kids, okay? When they see me show up, they start trembling because I knew the laws of the school, all right? Because I had somebody in my corner, one of the parents that was friends with a lawyer, and friends with the mayor of Fontana at that same time, and we could get things done in the school system. We were the ones that had them ban pesticides that they would spray in the schools because that stuff will kill people who have asthma. You don't have to spray these pesticides. I don't use pesticides in my house. You know, I see people have where the guy will come out and spray around the house and blah, blah, blah. You see how I fight my ants? I fight it with soapy water and flour. I used to fight it with the baby powder until I learned that that stuff ain't good for you. But anyways, I don't want to hear nothing this man is saying because he is in the back pocket of the NRA and he's not going to make any changes. One of my stupid cousins came at me. He's adopted anyways. And he's all like, I know he's not the best president, but if he passes an executive order, some judge will block it. I'm like, he can pass executive orders about everything else against us, against the poor and against women. Why can't he pass an executive order against this, right? I'm like, I bet you anything, if a black man starts shooting up the school with an AR-15, they will ban that sucker the next day. No, they want it for their white privilege and these crazy white people that are just taking these guns and shooting. I mean, oh, you guys, let me calm down. I want to live long enough to see this man get out of office. I really and truly feel that the date is moved up for when he's going to be gone. I was putting it to the first week of June. That will be 2 years since mommy died, but I moved it up to Easter. Whatever Easter is, I think Easter is falling in April. It's going to happen in April. I think that Bob Mueller is further along than we know because, you know, he don't tell us nothing. And I feel like after he arrested that little pretty boy lawyer from the Ukraine or Russia or somewhere, and the guy pleaded guilty, he's flipping that lawyer to get to Rick Gates. And he's going to, Rick Gates already flipped because he already pled guilty. And he's going to get to Manafort. And I don't think that it's Manafort that he really needs. I think Manafort is just his confirmation. I think he already has what he needs. He just wants to know that when he brings it, it'll stick. He don't want to just bring it on one person. You know, confirm it with a second person or a third person. So, anyways, did Billy Graham die today? Because I thought he'd been done dead. Joe, did you think he was alive? Mm-hmm. Huh? Mm-hmm. Did you know that Billy Graham was alive, or do you think he was dead?
Which one?
Billy Graham. Did we think he was dead? Because they have him all over the news today. I've lost respect for all these evangelical pastors. You know, so when another one dies, I'm like, okay, whatever, move on. Because they're all crooks. They're all shady. All they want is the money from the poor people, and they don't give anything back in return. The church that I used to go to, I'm going to say allegedly because I'm not 100% sure, but I don't believe I've ever heard them say anything about let's help people in the neighborhood. Like Leah's church, every Thanksgiving and every Christmas, she gives away 5 food baskets, and they are big baskets. They're boxes. Turkey, legit turkey, not fake turkey. What I mean is name brand turkey. And she'll give stuff in the boxes that people actually want to eat. All right. And that's 10 people that gets blessed from a little bitty church like Leah's church. Joe, have you ever heard that church ever say that they're going to, you know, bring somebody's name if you know a family in need and we'll give them a box? Mm-hmm. Huh? Yeah. Have you heard them say that? Huh?
Oh, yeah?
No. The other church we used to attend.
No.
If they're going to help anybody with a gift box, they want you, the church members, to bring everything to put in the box. They're not going to put out their own money, and they're going to give it to somebody right there in the church. They don't give it to nobody else. It's like us 4 and no more. I don't like that. They had their Valentine's Day thing. It was $140 for 2 people go to this Valentine thing. I'm like, what? $140 that could buy me food for 10 days. I would never do that. Even if I had money flowing, I would never do that. So I think that's why I don't belong in church, because I don't like the fellowship that goes on in church. I'm not going to go eat out with you. If me and my husband can't afford to eat out somewhere, you know, and have a romantic date, then why am I going to put my money in with y'all and go eat with you? You know, I saw a young lady on Facebook put out there the other day that her husband came home and asked her if he could go to Brazil for their, what do you call the thing, Joe? Carnival. And she said she told him no, and she wanted to know what people felt. Well, my answer to her is no, because her question was, aren't international trips supposed to be done by couples because they're married? I'm like, any trip supposed to be done by couples. You're not supposed to go off to Brazil by yourself. Then you have your girls in your corner telling you to go to Trinidad for their carnival because he's over there with his brothers at the Brazil. No, it doesn't work like that. When you are married, you are intertwined together after that. And it's not, no, you go this way for vacation and I go that way for vacation, or I'm going to go for girls' night only and you're going to go for boys' night. No. Why? Then just stay single. You know, I really enjoy being in the presence of Joe. And for every day that God has given me this man, I will enjoy every single day with him, even when I'm mad at him. Even when I'm mad at him, okay? I don't want to go out for girls' night only. I don't want to just go for me and you girls for lunch. You know, it's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. We'll go as couples, you know? So I was telling the girl, please. The minute I told Joe that story, Joe was like, right. Him and his brothers in Brazil, though. And Joe's a dude, and he can say that, right? So, but I don't want to like throw that at the girl to put fear in her. She probably already thinking it while she said no. But it's just like, no. Well, Joe went on one trip without me to Belize in 2009. And that was a different scenario because my mom did a fundraiser for all the family members to put together to buy Joe his plane ticket. And then they came back and they put together and gave him spending money. They did not need to do that part, but they did that. And Joe went to Belize with my mom and dad. He visited with his brother and his sister and everybody, but he went to Belize with my mom and dad. My mom did that because Joe hadn't seen his sister in over 30 years at that point. And my mom was like, what if something happens to her? You're going to regret it. Let's get some money going and take you. And he went with my mom and dad. And that was fine because he was with my mom and dad. And then he was, you know, hanging out with his sister and brother and stuff like that. I went to Belize in 2008 without Joe when my Aunt Grace died, but I went with my mom, my mom's sister, my Aunt Jenny, and Jada and me. You know, so those are different types of trips. I'm not talking about carnival. You're out there partying where you can get tempted and all types of stuff can happen to you out there. You could end up in somebody's bathtub with ice, you know, because they took your kidneys. So anyways, let me tell you what happened yesterday when I was in my live. So somebody had asked me about my cookbook. I don't have any more cookbooks. I have to slow down in stock right now because I have to buy 50 at a time, right? So it's kind of costly. So I was telling this story about, I was calling the guy my publisher, the company that I'm with. And I said, I really feel like he's screwing me over because the book has been published about 6 years now. And after like the first 8 months of it being in publication, I called the guy and I was like, hey, how come I didn't get any money yet for like dividends, right? Off of it being sold on Amazon. It's been 8 months. Nothing is selling. And so he's like, let me go check with the department that deals with that. I think this guy is him and his wife. He talks about departments. And he came back and he goes, oh, we have a check for you. We're sending it out right now. And the check came in was $60. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to fuss because I'm a new author. I didn't have a lot of followers at YouTube at the time because I started to do the YouTube channel because I was bringing out the book. So I'm like, okay, $60, you know, they might have sold some books, whatever. So because when I signed up with him, I gave him authority to distribute my book to wherever books are sold online, barnesandnoble.com, amazon.com, and so on. And so I figured, you know, if I do that, my name will get out there, the book will get out there, and I'll get a little bit of dividend off of the book sales, but I'm going to be also pushing my own books hard, right? So I want to say it was 2016. I was being trained by this young pastor that was teaching me how to market, and I told him what all I had and the books and everything. And he did some kind of investigating, and he came back and he told me to stop that guy from selling my books so that I can sell my own books. No, the man let me know in the beginning that the book that I'm selling, which is the spiral bound with the color photo inserts, because I couldn't afford to put 100% color in my book, so the recipes are printed in black, and then I have like the start of every chapter will have like a picture of something, and I tell a story about, you know, the something. And so that's the best I could do to make the book look pretty. I really wanted like a full color book, but he already told me for me to get a full color book, I would have to buy one book from him for $30. Then what am I going to sell it back to you guys for, right? So I didn't do that. So he said right at the time when I published my cookbook with him, he said that Amazon put a freeze on any books being spiral. So if the cookbook is going to have a spiral, you have to put it inside of a binder, like when you go buy cookbooks in the bookstores now. And also they put a freeze on any book that is part color, part black and white. So it has to be full color or full black and white. So he says I can't sell that spiral book at Amazon. I have to sell the one that's perfect bound, which means it has the glue, and also the pictures inside the book, they're black and white. So that's what he's selling at Amazon, okay? I gave him permission to do this. So everything's been going along, like I said, 4 years after the first $60, I ain't get a dime. So that was starting to get me mad, but I don't know how to approach him because, you know, like I said, I'm calling him my publisher. He's my publisher, and I need to go to him to buy my books back, or else I'm going to have to go somewhere else to make my book again, right? So I already did that with my first book, The Small Change Diet, and I really didn't want to have to do that again, to go to another, you know, company to make my book again. If I'm going to do that, I think I'll make a different book. Let's put it that way. So anyways, this guy, to me, this guy is stealing from me, okay? And I'm going to say allegedly for right now, but even though I believe it in my heart, because that's what you say when you don't want to get sued. So, Jasmine, I hope you're listening, because when you texted me about my book and stuff, and I told you everything was honestly what I told you. The program is hard to work with, and they charge a lot of money to do the stuff. And so that's why I'm telling you, if you want to make one book, go to Costco. So anyways, I contacted the guy when the pastor was training me, and I said, because the pastor, I forgot what the pastor told me the guy was doing to cheat, to steal from me. But whatever it was, I called the guy up. And you know what? He's in Massachusetts, and he's always claiming some type of snowstorm. Even in the summer, there's a snowstorm that's knocking out his phone where he can't get your call. He can only answer your call if you leave a message and say, hey, I want to buy books. Other than that, he don't pick up the phone. So I contacted him at the time because I went on to the guys that I wanted to buy books. And I said, I want you to stop distributing my books to Amazon and to Barnes and Noble, you know, online and everything. I know I gave you permission to do that in the beginning, but for right now, I don't want you to do it anymore. And so he says, he paused. He goes, can I ask why? And I said, for one, I want to control my brand. I said, and people are buying that book with the black and white photos. I mean, who wants a cookbook with black and white photos? Not me, right? I said, they're buying that book with the black and white photos, and I really don't want that out there anymore. I don't want the book to be perfect bound because it's going to be hard to stay open when they're trying to cook out of it. And I just want to sell the books that I'm selling. I'm going to keep buying them from you. So he's going to make a profit when I buy the books from him, because I'm sure he has, if he's not printing the books himself and he sends it out to a printer, I'm sure he gets them for maybe half the price that he charges me for it, or maybe even less than half the price, right? So he's still making a profit when I buy books from him. And I said, I don't want you to sell it anymore. But I said it verbally. And he says, okay, I've never had to do this before. So because my clients have never come and asked me this question. So can you give me a moment to look into it? And then I'll get back with you to let you know that I've stopped selling the books. So I think mommy got sick then, and, you know, all this stuff. And then she passed, whatever. And it just kind of slipped my mind completely. And then what happened was I bought 50 books last year, like around this time for sale, and the books sold very slowly this year, the year that passed. And so barely now I ran out of books and I need to buy books again. So that's what I was trying to explain to somebody in the live last night when one of my faithful diehard viewers and supporters came at me and gave me some side information, some backdoor information about how she could find out how much books this man is selling from Amazon, okay? And it's not an accurate amount, but I'm sure it's pretty close. It's in the ballpark. It's like when you go to Social Blade to see what YouTubers are making, you might look at my cooking channel and they'll say Barbara's making anywhere from $23 on the low end to like $320 on the high end, and I can tell you I'm making $295. So you can see more or less what people are making at their YouTube channel. They might not be at the top, but they're definitely not at the bottom. They're closer to the top than the bottom for Social Blade, all right? So that's a little bit of note to you. So this young lady told me this man is selling on average of $123 a book. 123 books per month. And it comes close to $2,500 for the sales. Now, keep in mind that some of that is his cost of goods, right? He has to pay, but let's say he pays $400 out of that $2,500 to buy these 123 books that he's selling. He's making like $2,100 a month off of my books when I'm sitting here starving. Oh my God, you don't want to know the rage I went into last night. Then my other book that I took my other book away from this company called Ex Libris because Ex Libris charges me $17.99 for me to buy one of my own books to try to sell it back. I can't afford to do this, right? So I took away my small change diet from this guy and I from Ex Libris and took it to this guy. He's making almost $400 a month off of that book because that book sells slowly because I don't really promote it. I am so mad. You guys don't even know how mad I am because I could use that money and whatever my portion would come to, you know, let's say we were supposed to go halvesies on the profit. You see what I'm losing out monthly because this guy hasn't given me a dime. So now my first instinct is to go at him, you know, and just really choke him out, you know, and he's all the way in Massachusetts. But I know I only get one opportunity to get him on the phone because he will dodge me like the coward that he is. Now, let me tell you something. This man has a young picture up at his Facebook picture because he's my friend on Facebook. He has a young picture up, so I thought he was young, but later on I found out he's my dad's age. And he's been publishing books since he was in his 20s, so he knows exactly what he's doing. This is not, oh, I messed up and I didn't send you no money. He knows exactly what he's doing. This thing hurt me to my heart, you guys, because everybody steals from me. That guy in Belize that I try to work with at the TV station, Ramon, he's stealing my videos still. I tried to give him the video so he could get better quality so we could work together and collaborate. He didn't hold up his end of the deal. He's going to try to come at me about Trump is appointed by God. I'm like, psh, bye. Okay? So I got in the shower last night and I was like, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. God, why have you forsaken me? That was my cry unto God. Because sometimes you got to cry. Sometimes you got to yell, just yell and say, God, where are you in this? Why have you forsaken me with this? Why are you going to let this man steal from me for 5 years? Yes, you had the pastor come in 2016 and tell me something, but I didn't quite understand the scope of the money that I was losing. So you know what I'm going to do? Another viewer in the live last night showed me some information about going elsewhere to do my books to where I can get the books for like $4 if I'm buying 50 books or whatever at a time. And it's going to cost me some money to create a new book because I'm sure, you know, Ex Libris charge you $1,000 to publish books with them and they charge you a lot for the book. So I know I'm going to have to put out money. If I go with the same crook, all I put out is $100 plus pay the person to create my cover. That's like close to $300. So that's all I would put out. But if I go with some other companies, they charge you a fee to format your book and stuff like that. He doesn't even format the book. I had to pay the lady that did the design cover to format the book for me because you can type up the book all you want, but it has to be formatted. You know, so I'm going to go check into it. I'm going to save my money. And I think if I have to do a GoFundMe, that's the one time I would do a GoFundMe so I can make this new book. And I'm going to put all my Belize recipes in there. I'm going to revamp any mistakes that I made. I'm going to take good quality photos and let the book look like the bomb.com. I'm going to put all my brand new recipes in there too. Maybe steal some from Jada's book and put it in there because he also made Jada's book, but we couldn't find the book in Amazon. So I think at that time I was already on to him and I did not give him permission to distribute my book through Amazon. So that's why you don't see that out there, but it's okay. I'm going to make a big book. And we're going to make something new and we're going to go from there. I was telling my dad about it. He was so upset And he says, I just hope you don't sit back and not do anything, because I know you have that fire in you right now, but you won't do. Obviously, he don't know who he talking to. I never sit down on my butt and not do something, okay? My brain never takes a break. I'm always thinking of that next idea, that next invention. Look how many gifts and talents God has given my one little family. My son can draw. My other son has abilities to teach and to deal with children. He has the looks to be a model. My daughter can write, sing, and perform music. You know, I can be on camera. Let me tell you something about Jada. She went to go check into her grant. You know, they're holding her grant because they said she's been at the school too long. It's not because of bad grades. So she had to go through, jump through some hoops. She had to listen to a video about why you're on probation, kind of like when you get a traffic ticket, yada yada, whatever. So she finally went to her counselor because she had to get this appointment. The counselor filled out everything for her to get back her grant. She met the deadline of March the 2nd for the appeal, but she won't get her money till May 7th. She'll get a double portion at that point because she was going to get the second disbursement, but not till May 7th. Can y'all believe this? Till May 7th, this baby got to hang on and try to find gas for her car. And the little job that she got, she's been having the job for 3 weeks and ain't called her yet to do the orientation. And it's like, oh my God. But anyways, when I was telling my dad, he goes, well, I guess they figure you could borrow the money to hold her over. Well, I don't have nobody to borrow from. I don't know about you, but I've never had anybody in my life that would lend me money. But I always lend people money. And let me tell you about me when I lend money. I don't really lend it. I give it. And when they come and they borrow, I say, this is a gift. I sow it as a seed onto you that God will bring me my harvest, because I know this is going to stress you out to pay me back. And I don't want you to hate me, because you always end up hating who you owe. All right? Keep that in mind. If you owe somebody, you're going to hate them. So if you're going to have to go borrow from your sister, brother, father, mother, whatever, don't do it. Because you're going to end up hating them, because inevitably you won't be able to pay back the loan, and then you will end up being mad at them when they start bugging you for the money. All right? So anyways, coming back to Jada and her thing, she went through all the hoops and they told her she's going to get the money on May 7th. But listen to what they told her. This is the goodest part of the the goodest part of the story. If she stays on course like she is right now with the classes she's taking and whatever she's going to take summer, whatever she takes fall, as long as she don't fail now, she'll be able to graduate the spring of 2019. Let me tell you the best part. She going to have 3 degrees. Count them. 1, a 2, a 3. How many licks does it take to get to the center of the whatever the candy was? 1, a 2. And the all bit the thing, right? She gonna have 3 degrees. Now I hope I don't get them wrong. 1 is music, because that's her major. 1 is in some type of fine arts and general studies. And then 1 is gonna be in communications. Oh my God, she gonna have a communications degree like her mama. Now Jory graduated from the City College with 2 degrees. He had 1 in child development and 1 in some type of general studies too. Joshua got general studies in art or something like that. And so we can't wait for Jory to come home so we can rub it in his face and go, guess what? Your sister gonna get 3 degrees. 3 degrees. Count them 3. She's gonna have 3 associates. Can you believe that? She better hold on to those, because I don't know if she'll go for the bachelor's, because that girl hates school. All right. She's hoping her career blows up so she can quit school now, but she won't quit. She gonna have to get those degrees. So yeah, that's my plan of action. I already sent away for the kit. When I went online to one of the websites somebody sent me to for the book, they said they can send you a free kit on how to get your book, going. And so for this guy that I'm with, I had to buy a program from him. The program was $200. And then I had to put data entry into the program. The program is very proprietary. So if I have it on one computer, I can't necessarily put it on another computer because it'll act up. And then when I want to send the files to him, the files go into a publishing part of the program. It goes from the data entry to the publisher's part. That part's very hard to operate. If you made a mistake in the data entry part, it's hard for you to fix that mistake in the publishing part. Then you have to send it to him. And every time you call him for help, he's acts stupid like, oh, what? What did you do wrong? I told you not to touch that one button right there, though. There's no videos on YouTube that can help you use his program. And I'm going to just come out right and say it. Cook's Palette, the program sucks. And Author Inc., the publisher, sucks. And let me tell you what I learned. He's not my publisher. He's just my printer. I'm the publisher. because I'm self-published. So I can actually take my book and publish it any place else that I darn well please. And that's what I'm going to have to do. But it's going to take a little minute because it's going to take money and it's going to take time for me to type that book back up because all my files are in his data entry thingy and you can't necessarily save them as PDF or whatever and take them over. But it's okay. I don't mind retyping the book. You know why? I know these recipes in and out now, and I can just get them done quickly, especially the ones that's in Beans and Rice and Jesus Christ. And I also know my new recipes, and I want to start taking some good pictures. So from here on in, whenever I make a good recipe that I know I want to go in the book, that I will want to put in the book actually, I will take my good photos now and save it so that I can, do it and do it quickly. So hopefully, I'm going to give myself a deadline of 6 months. All right, I'm going to give myself a deadline of 6 months to get another book going, money-wise, time-wise, to do the work and everything. So in the meanwhile, I'm out of books, and I'm going to have to buy books from this a-hole. At least one more time, I'm going to have to buy books from him. 50 books. I'm going to need at least $425 to buy the books from him. And I'm going to call him up, and I'm going to purchase my books. And once the books arrive, I'm going to call him back under the guise that I'm letting him know that I got my books, and I'm going to tell him, cease and desist. I'm going to write him a letter, say, do I have to put this in writing that I want you to cease and desist from selling my books at Amazon. Now, I can't even sell my books at Amazon because, like he said, they don't take the spiral, they don't take the partially colored, but at least he won't be selling it and making no money. I'm going to cut off his supply because why should he be making money off of my good skill and talent, So anyways, Joe went in the room. Let me go see if the man okay. What you doing?
I'm resting.
Huh?
I'm resting.
Can I come rest with you?
If you want to.
If I want to? Huh? Oh my God, I can't even get out of bed with this skirt. I keep slipping back off.
Oh.
Hey, baby.
Hey.
You cold?
Huh?
You cold? I'm asking because you have on a big, thick jacket.
What color, yeah?
You know the cold still comes through this window, right? Want to go to the gym today? You need to get out of my bed so I can spread my bed.
You just know I'm spread the bed after what?
Huh?
3 o'clock?
Look, I edit videos. You know I'm on the job. Huh? Oh my God, you guys. This blanket right here. Look at this. I think it's a 4-piece thing they put together. Can you guys see it? It look dark. Huh? I think it's a 4-piece thing they put together. But oh my God, when you get under this blanket, whoo, you don't want to wake up. It's like, Jesus, what bill? No, that bill pay. My head still spin when I turn my head in certain positions, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like if I do like this, like that, it's like, woo, woo. I'm on my own merry-go-round ride. So I'm going to just lay here and rest. Yes or no?
I said the only way you could lay down with me if you have money.
I hear that part, but you said something afterwards.
I said no money, no honey.
Is there a reason why someone would do that? Like,
I don't know why. Is this one of the shirts from Lucy?
Yeah.
Oh, so you took over, huh?
Yup.
It looks better on you than Daddy.
Why?
I don't know. It suits your body type. On Daddy, it just looks weird. I guess because I'm not used to seeing him with too much sleeveless.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This works great for me because I'm always rolling up the sleeves.
Yeah, maybe that's what Lucy thought.
I hope so.
Lucy, if it wasn't for Josh,
oh well, it's mine.
Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
Send more of these and send tank tops.
You see, Lucy got her own bills.
I'm just saying, if Lucy wants to send more in the future, I'll take some tank tops.
It fits you good though, Josh.
It does.
I like it.
I do like the way it feels. I gotta break it in more, but still, it fits nice. I like how it's snug around here. I hate it when I sit down and my shirts go up.
Yeah.
Nice and snug.
So did you hear they filed more charges against Manafort and Rick Gates?
How many charges is that?
I don't know, but it's all sealed. Why somebody don't leak this stuff to me?
Why would you not show the charges? I mean, we always know the charges when anybody else gets arrested.
Mueller's smart. You could best believe if Mueller didn't show it.
He must have done it for a reason, yeah.
Yep. I trust Mueller right about now.
Mueller's not a stupid person. He moves with purpose.
He reminds me of Columbo. He turns back and he goes, just one more question. And it's like,
that's the one.
Damn, I'm done.
You think they're gonna make a movie out of Mueller doing this?
They're gonna make a movie out of when Trump goes out. Oh yeah, I'll go pay to see that one.
Oh, I'll definitely be in theaters to see that one too. As long as it's made by like people who don't want to mess with things, you know what I mean? So it looks like he's a good person. But he's not. I don't think that dude was ever a good person. Trump.
I know.
Not
They said he was even a mean kid.
I believe that when you're spoiled and rich, yeah. Because you can be rich and not be spoiled, but they spoiled that boy.
Look at the difference between Trump idiot sons and Harry and William.
Yeah.
They were born into money, and they went into the armed services and served their country. And these idiots.
If I saw Harry and William, I would be like, those are good dudes. Like, I haven't met them, but in my opinion, those are good dudes. You know what I mean? I would love to meet Harry and William, even not because I'm dying to, because Jada would love to. You know what I mean?
You know, they were talking about the kids. They were doing a smear campaign against the kids that were talking, the kids that got shut up. And
what ghouls have the audacity to do that?
Again, YouTube is always on the forefront of anything that's awful lately. And they allowed the videos to go viral and stuff. And then now they're apologizing. I am so sick of YouTube. I wish something else would just come up so I can leave.
There needs to be competition, because if someone can pull a competition, they would clean house.
Then the idiot son to the orange monster in office, he retweets back out what the people were saying, because they said one of the boys, his dad works for the FBI, that's why he is protecting the FBI. I'm like, you know what? Those kids, just like how 9/11 is off limits,
you're gonna attack
those kids are off limits.
You're gonna attack kids?
Those kids are off limits. Just like how 9/11 been off limits since they were, you can't even whisper 9/11, you can't even say Hurricane Katrina. All those things are off limits.
Yep. But they don't care. They're ghouls. They're ghouls parading around in skin. Bad skin at that.
Oh no. Speaking of that, when is Spooky Story going to be released?
I just gotta add 3 pictures to represent, or just 1 picture maybe.
Okay.
Tomorrow. Hungry.
Well, bye guys. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Be ready for some spooky stories tomorrow.
Alright.
Oh,
Hey Blackie, my darling. Yeah, daddy, in a kimono. You tired, Papa?